Thank you for that. A Phoenix driver trying to solve an expensive mystery after the engine in his SUV failed.
Oh, this sounds like a nightmare. So that's why On Your Side Susan Campbell got involved and working to help get him some answers. She's joining us now. Oh boy.
The 2026 engine crisis keeps showing up where people least expect it, on dealer lots, in daily commuters, in family haulers, and in trucks that used to be the safe bet. I am not here to scare you. I am here to help you see patterns, ask the right questions, and avoid a very expensive mistake. In this video, we will walk through 9 very engines that still generate recalls, investigations, or heavy complaint clusters. If you already own one, you will hear what to watch and what to document. If you are shopping, you will hear what to verify before you sign. Let us start where a trusted badge meets a small turbo that has not always lived up to the legend. Number 9. Honda 1.5-liter turbo. Honda built its reputation on engines that just run. That is why the Honda L15B series 1.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, used widely in the Honda Civic, the Honda CR-V, and the Honda Accord non-hybrid trims, gets so much attention. Early on, owners and technicians flagged fuel dilution in the oil. Raw gasoline slipping past piston rings into the oil pan thins the lubricant. Thin oil protects less, and wear can climb. Honda rolled out calibration changes, hardware tweaks, and in many markets you could feel improvements. But another pattern has crept in on some units. Early head gasket trouble. When a head gasket fails, coolant can move into the combustion chamber. You might see persistent white exhaust on startup, smell sweetness at the tailpipe, notice the coolant level dropping with no puddles, or feel a cold start misfire that clears. Ignore those signs, and small problems graduate quickly. Fixing it early can mean a gasket job. Late means a replacement long block. If you are buying, slow down and verify. Ask for exact engine codes. Prefer examples with documented technical service bulletin work completed and a healthy service history. Pay for a proper pre-purchase inspection that includes a cooling system pressure test and, if the seller agrees, a compression and leak down test. If you already own one, shorten your oil change interval, send an oil sample for analysis once or twice to see fuel trends, and get every symptom printed on the repair order. Honda can and does offer goodwill or extended coverage at times, but paper trails matter. And if you are wondering whether this is a one-off, the next stop shows how a long-running European 4-cylinder can look similar on the surface, but carry a very different mix of concerns. That story echoes in another place. Only this time the timeline stretches across many generations, and the symptoms can hide behind strong performance until they do not. Number 8. Volkswagen and Audi 2.0-liter turbo. The Volkswagen and Audi EA888 2.0-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder is everywhere. Think Volkswagen Jetta, Volkswagen Tiguan, Volkswagen Atlas, and Volkswagen Passat, plus Audi A3, Audi A4, Audi A5, Audi Q3, and Audi Q5. It delivers torque, decent mileage on paper, and a confident test drive. But across multiple generations, certain problems keep resurfacing. High oil consumption linked to piston ring design is a frequent complaint. Turbocharger failures, positive crankcase ventilation system faults, timing cover seepage, and water pump leaks show up in owner logs and service bays. Here is the key. The EA888 is a family with many revisions. A blanket take will miss the nuance. Your job is to pin down the exact generation and code on the car you are considering, check recall and campaign completion, and ask for proof of stable oil use. If a seller cannot show an oil consumption test history or consistent intervals without top-ups, you either negotiate or walk. If you own one, keep a simple log in your phone of miles and any oil added. Listen for turbo whistle that was not there before, and scan for lean or misfire codes that can point to air or oil issues upstream. Parts and knowledge are easy to find for this family, which helps. But do not confuse availability with immunity. Gen 3 is not Gen 2, and Gen 4 is not Gen 3. The exact code on your build sheet tells the story. And while these cars often feel great new, the next example shows how an image built on toughness can be challenged when a small Turbo 4 reaches its limits under real-world conditions. The conversation turns from European efficiency to a rugged badge that promises adventure, yet leaves some owners doing more service visits than trail rides. Number 7. Jeep 2.0-liter turbo. Jeep sells capability. The Jeep Wrangler and the Jeep Grand Cherokee represent that image. Under the hood, the Stellantis Global Medium Engine T4 2.0-liter turbocharged four-cylinder, often called the Hurricane in this configuration, has brought strong torque and decent fuel economy. The trouble is that owner communities and service networks have seen a grab bag of issues. There have been formal recalls tied to assembly defects with potential for sudden power loss or even fire risk. Separately, people report head gasket leaks, cracked cylinder liners, piston damage, and the usual turbo engine suspects like oil and coolant leaks. If you already have one, your best move is discipline. Run your vehicle identification number on the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration site and make sure every campaign from late 2025 onward is completed. Keep a close eye on the coolant level and oil condition, especially after off-road trips or heavy towing. If you hear a new knock or a tick that grows, do not wait. Get it checked and recorded. If you are shopping, recognize that first-year or first-generation implementations carry extra uncertainty. Consider waiting for later build dates or make the warranty do the work by negotiating an extended plan that explicitly covers internal engine components and the turbocharger. This engine can be fine when everything is right. The risk is that your margin is thin when it is not. Which brings us to another small turbo, one that powers everyday crossovers and shows how coolant can quietly find its way where it never belongs. Those themes of heat, pressure, and thin margins come up again. But the way they show up next is sneakier at first and more final when it goes wrong. Number 6. Ford 1.5-liter EcoBoost 3-cylinder. On paper, the Ford 1.5-liter 3-cylinder turbocharged Dragon engine makes sense for the Ford Escape and the Ford Bronco Sport. Compact, light, boosted for usable torque, and emissions-friendly on a test cycle. In the real world, a cluster of owners and technicians have tracked coolant intrusion into cylinders. It can start with a rough cold start. Maybe a little white exhaust that clears. Maybe the coolant level drops over a few weeks with no puddles under the car. If that path continues, cylinder walls can lose oil film, rings can wear, and compression can dip. That is not a quick fix. That is big work. Protect yourself by verifying before you buy. Ask for a full pre-purchase inspection that includes a cooling system pressure test. If the seller agrees, a simple borescope view through spark plug holes can reveal a suspiciously clean cylinder from repeated steam washing. If you own one, shorten service intervals, use the correct coolant and oil, and get every symptom documented on repair orders. If a misfire code keeps returning, push for deeper diagnosis instead of repeated clears. Ford has had earlier EcoBoost engines fight similar battles, so many dealers know the playbook. No engine is perfect, but some build configurations make life harder. Keeping that in mind, let us take one step smaller in displacement and look at what happens when budget crossovers push a tiny 3-cylinder a bit too far for comfort. If a little engine doing a big job sounds risky, the next case shows how that can turn into longer waits and harder choices when parts are not on the shelf. Number 5. General Motors 1.2-liter turbo 3-cylinder. General Motors hit a sweet spot on price and packaging with the Chevrolet Trax, the Chevrolet Trailblazer, and the Buick Envista. Many trims use a 1.2-liter turbocharged 3-cylinder known internally as LIH in the small turbo L3 family. It feels punchy around town and sips fuel under light loads. The catches start to show up in owner stories about premature bearing distress, connecting rod damage, and sudden loss of propulsion that turns the dash into warning lights and the right lane into your new home. Small, high-boost engines can live long if the clearances are perfect and the oil supply is always strong. The problem is that once a bearing starts to fail, metal circulates, oil pressure drops, and the sound changes from a light tick to a heavy knock in a hurry. At that point, the correct repair is usually a replacement long block. And that is where the second problem shows up. Demand outpaces supply, and people wait. Loaners are scarce. Communication stalls. Frustration grows. If you own one, check your oil level often, listen for new noises, and never ignore a low oil pressure warning, even if it flickers. Ask your service advisor to cut open the oil filter at oil changes if you suspect metal. If you are shopping, ask about any engine replacement history and prefer cars with long powertrain warranty left. An oil analysis after a couple of changes can give you an early trend line. Knowledge will not change the engine's design, but it will change your timing. And sometimes, timing is everything. That is especially true when the problem is not gradual wear, but a part that was not installed in the first place. Sometimes the failure is not about design limits. It is about a simple step missed on the assembly line and a fix that takes time to arrive. Number 4. Ford 2.3-liter EcoBoost Inline 4. In certain build ranges of the Ford Bronco, the Ford Ranger, the Ford Explorer, and the Ford Mustang with the 2.3-liter EcoBoost 4-cylinder, two separate assembly issues have caused big headaches. The first is a missing piston pin retaining clip. That small circlip keeps the wrist pin from walking. If it is absent, the pin can move sideways, cut into the cylinder wall, and throw metal into the oiling system. The second is a valve train problem where a roller finger follower can pop loose during operation, causing sudden power loss and potential internal damage. Ford has issued recalls that instruct dealers to inspect and, when necessary, replace the entire long block. The slow part is sourcing enough engines. People have waited while parts pipelines catch up. Here is what you can do. If you own one, run your vehicle identification number on the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration site, call your dealer, and get an inspection on the books. If you hear a new metallic knock or your vehicle suddenly loses power, stop driving and arrange a tow. Do not let a small problem self-destruct the engine. If you are shopping, verify recall completion by paperwork, confirm engine serial numbers against the repair order if a replacement was done, and consider negotiating added powertrain coverage on delivery. These are fixable problems with clear instructions, but they require patience and documentation. The next one is about an engine family that taught a lot of owners and the industry hard lessons over many years and still shapes how people buy used vehicles today. When a name becomes shorthand for trouble, it lingers, and it can blur into newer models unless you read the fine print. Number 3. Hyundai and Kia Theta II 2.0 and 2.4-liter. The Hyundai and Kia Theta II 4-cylinder family is one of the most discussed engine lines of the last decade. The main issues have centered on connecting rod bearing failures, piston ring problems, sudden seizures, and in too many cases, engine fires that led to park outside advisories and very large recalls. The legal and regulatory response was equally large. For many shoppers, the word Theta became a red flag. It is still relevant in 2026 for two reasons. First, used car lots are full of older models that carried Theta II. If you are shopping used, verify recall completion, ask whether the engine was replaced, and check whether extended warranty coverage still applies. Second, engine family names get mixed up in conversation. It is easy to hear someone say a current car like the Kia Seltos has the old engine, when in most markets it actually uses the 2.0-liter new or the 1.6-liter SmartStream. That confusion can either scare you away from a good car or, worse, fail to alert you to a real risk on an older one. If you own a Theta II powered car, change oil on time, listen for knock, do not ignore a low oil pressure light, and keep your paperwork neat. If you are evaluating a used one, bring a scan tool, look for pending codes, and, if the seller agrees, have a shop cut the oil filter open to look for glitter that says bearing material. One clean hour now is worth months later. With that in mind, let us look at a brand that rarely appears in these conversations and yet has been issuing multiple campaigns on a single twin-turbo truck engine. Even the brands that built their names on longevity can stumble, and when they do, it looks different because expectations are higher. Number 2. Toyota 3.4-liter twin-turbo V6. This one sits in the redesigned Toyota Tundra and underpins related powertrains in the Toyota Sequoia hybrid system and the Lexus LX600 and Lexus GX550. Reports and investigations have focused on machining debris left in oil passages during manufacturing. Bearings survive on a thin, clean oil film. Introduce grit, and the film breaks down. Then you hear a knock or see a low oil pressure warning. Sometimes the warning is brief. Sometimes the engine is not as forgiving. Toyota has expanded recall coverage in waves, instructing inspections and, when necessary, engine replacements. If you own one, do the simple things well. Run your vehicle identification number, schedule the campaign, and do not drive it if you hear new mechanical noise or see a warning. If you are buying, verify build dates and campaign completion, and ask for documentation if the engine has been replaced. Some buyers have secured extended coverage on this powertrain. The point here is not that Toyota trucks are doomed. It is that even a strong brand can fight a concentrated problem, and you should let the data shape your decision. Speaking of concentrated problems, the last on our list is about a pair of General Motors V8s that power some of the best-selling trucks and sport utility vehicles on the road. When a work truck cannot be trusted to work, the stakes are higher, and the fixes must be more convincing. Number 1. General Motors 5.3-liter and 6.2-liter Ecotec 3 V8s with cylinder deactivation. These engines are everywhere: the Chevrolet Silverado, the GMC Sierra, the Chevrolet Tahoe, the Chevrolet Suburban, the GMC Yukon, and related models. The General Motors Ecotec 3 family brought cylinder deactivation to the party. Active fuel management and its newer version, dynamic fuel management, shut down cylinders under light load to save fuel. The concept sounds smart. The reality, for too many owners, has been lifters that collapse. When a lifter fails, it can wipe a camshaft lobe, throw metal into the oil, and turn a top-end repair into a full engine replacement. On the 6.2-liter variants coded L86 and L87, another thread appears, connecting rod bearing distress tied to crankshaft finishing variation in some parts. That is a mouthful. The simple version is that bearings live and die by clearance. Out of spec is out of luck under load. When a rod bearing fails in a big V8, it can be sudden and costly. Large recalls and dealer inspections followed, and in some cases owners were told to run thicker oil while waiting for parts or further guidance. Regulators have taken interest in whether the remedies stop repeat failures, which tells you the situation is still in motion. If you own one, listen on cold starts for a rhythmic tick that does not fade, watch for misfire codes, and do not gamble with a low oil pressure message. Get a thorough diagnosis. If repairs repeat, escalate to a manufacturer case manager and consider consumer protection avenues in your region. If you are buying, verify recall and inspection history by vehicle identification number, look for documented lifter or camshaft work, and prefer longer warranty remaining. If you tow or haul for a living, consider rental reimbursement coverage so a bad week does not become a bad quarter. That is the practical side of protecting yourself while the bigger story plays out. At this point, you have a clear map of 9 engines where caution pays off. Here is the short closing thought, and then I want to hear your experiences. The simple takeaway is this: slow down, verify, and document. Engines fail for many reasons, but patterns are not accidents. Check your vehicle identification number on the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration site. Read the exact engine code on the build sheet and make sellers prove what they claim. If you already own one of these, make the paper trail your friend. Shorten service intervals, listen for changes, and get everything on the repair order. If this helped, share it with someone who is shopping right now. Drop your story in the comments so others learn from it. Subscribe if you want updates as campaigns evolve. Stay smart and take care of your engine so your engine takes care of you.